Hello, race fans, and welcome to Apex This League Racing. My name is
Oh, so
Unimportant,
frustrating.
and today we're racing at Winton Motor Raceway in Australia.
Okay.
Winton is 1.83 miles in length, and it's been called Australia's action track. Also described as the circuit being like running a marathon around your clothesline. And yeah, I can say from experience, that's pretty much what it is. As you can see here, it's several straights with 3 hairpins back to back, and that little section is tough to do. Today we're running 2 20-minute races, so this is the first of the two. The winners of the first race will be inverted for the second race. So let's take a look here. Let's first say thank you to our partners, Apex Sim Racing, Full Speed Sim Coaching, Get Good Race, and J. Cooper Electric. And by golly, we are off and running already on this short little track. So we've got Kelly Greenhoe in P1, Jake in P2, Spencer and Tim Havelka battling it out for P3. Then we've got Mark Miller, Joseph Mayer, John Cooper, Roman Bykov, Michael Bond, Craig Thompson, Mark Valente, and Kent Kruger. Craig Tessiter practiced with us today, but won't be able to race the Code Brown car that he wanted to race with us tonight. All right, let's, so far, we seem to be, here we are in this section of hairpins. It's just one after another on cold tires. You can easily spin out here if you're not careful. Oh, there's a spin there up ahead. That's Joseph Meyer, I believe. Yep. And here we have back of the pack, Kent trying to put a move on Mark Valente. This is not an easy track to pass on by any stretch of the imagination. It's really tough. Kent's going to give him. Not going to make it through there. And they're back on the home straight. So let's check out the lead here, see how we're doing. Kelly is pulling away. He's got an almost 2-second gap on P2. Then Spencer, Jake. Running nose to tail here through second through 5th place. 6th place there is Roman Bykov in his Silver Bullet Special, catching up to him. Then Mike Bond, John Cooper. I hear something in the background there.
Sorry, Mark.
Looks like Kent is pulling off track.
Not pulling my engine up.
Oh, I hear over the radio he blew his engine. Nice job. Okay, let's get back to the racing, not to those people who don't know how to shift. All right, so Kelly's still well in the lead here. He is got a gap now of 2.7, giving a clinic to the rest of these racers. He loves the MX-5. And this season in this car, we are running 4 races in the MX-5. Then we're switching it up, running 4 in the Mustang FR 500S. And then after that, we'll run 4 more in the GR86. And you are welcome to join Apex This. There's no fee to race with us. It's all free. There's no sign-ups. You simply have to join Facebook or Discord and join our iRacing League, and then you could start racing. Whether you want to start racing in the middle of the season, beginning of the season, or even the last race, feel free. New members are always welcome. This is quite the little pack here. It's like Tim is getting pressured by Roman Bykov. Everybody's getting pressured here. See what Tim can do here behind Mark Miller. Big curves that have a tendency to throw the car around. Let's just run a lap here with Tim. So come into turn 1. It's a chicane here through 1 and 2. With, again, pretty good sized curves. You'll see how it tosses the car up. Run out here wide. Oh, hang on to it. Got into the back of Mark there a little, but no harm, no foul. It's bound to happen here. Heading down another one of the straights. And now we're getting into the 3 hairpin complex. So 1, slow it down, get it in there. 2, and another one, 3. It's so easy to spin out through there. Hard brake into here, watch that inside curve, go wide, a little wide there. He's going to get an off track for that one. You see up ahead there, looks like Jake is defending on this corner. You can see those big curves. And here we are ending a lap at Winton Raceway. It's a free track. We have not as many people racing tonight as we usually see. We usually have well into the 20s. I think a lot of people probably didn't realize this was a free track. And next week, we're also racing at a free track, a new track. I think it's called Navarra. So if you're worried about having to pay for a track, you don't have to. You already own it in iRacing. It's free. This is still our pack of challengers here. As I said earlier, it is hard to pass on this track. Weave their way through the final hairpin. All right, so drop back here a little bit. There you can see Kelly going off well into the head of this pack. He has, what, a 5-second gap now to P2, so he is giving a clinic, although nobody's close enough to receive any benefit of that clinic. Then we've got a pack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, with a few car lengths between them and Mike Bond, John Cooper, and Craig Thompson. And these guys are just trying to sort this out here. Oh, looks like Craig Thompson had a little off track there. We will cover the off tracks, the wrecks, all that good stuff at the end of the second race. So hang around, you get to see all that at the end. We'll cover that. If we missed any really good passes, we'll try and catch some of those, although there's not a lot of passing going on here. Oh, Jake Speidel. Looks like he had a little moment there, got off track. He's been passed by Mark Miller and Spencer Baudouin. 20 minutes of this nose-to-tail racing. And it's so easy on this track with the high curbs that you see them bouncing over there. The 3 back-to-back hairpins that you charge into. It's so easy to make a mistake on this track and spin out. We've seen a few happen already, some off tracks, someone going into the gravel. It's just very easy. So you just constantly got to be 100% focused, or if not, you'll blow an engine like Kent did at the start of this race. Oh, there we go. Roman gets into the back of Tim Havelka, spins him around. That nose-to-tail action, that kind of thing can happen. We do have a protest system in, oh, and looky there. Roman, being a hell of a racer there, is waiting up for Tim. That is a true gentleman there. Getting up behind Tim so he can take him out again. Now, our league is known for its good racing and for its good behavior, actually. If you're tired of the iRacing official races that are kind of crazy and people don't care who they wreck, how they wreck, then league racing here at Apex, this is a good way to get in some good racing. Whoa, Mark Miller goes way wide through that corner. So yeah, it's a good way to get in some good tight racing, fun racing with friends. You'll get to know the people that race here. A lot of these people race every season. We're on season 20 right now. And you'll get to know your fellow racers, personalities of each individual, who's aggressive, who hangs back, and so on. So it's much more like racing in real life, where you often race against the same people week after week, than it is in officials, where you continually race against people you really don't know. Let's jump out here and see where Kelly is. He is now almost 8 seconds. He's making this look easy. Then we've got Spencer. Still being challenged by Mark Miller and Jake Speidel. And we've got Mike Bond and John Cooper back here. John Cooper's, it's a nice recovery. He had an early spin. I remember seeing him off track, so he's had a nice recovery. Roman Bykov has got around Tim Havelka again, this time hopefully without any nose-to-tail action. Then we've got Joseph Mayer, Thomas Wright, Mark Valente in P11, Craig Thompson in P12, and Kent, who is now 1 lap down with that engine that was quickly repaired by his pit crew. Those guys are something else, that they can repair a engine in 1 lap. So let's jump back up here to this pack that is battling for final 2 positions of the podium. Kelly, unless he makes a mistake, yeah, he's pretty much got P1 wrapped up. But P2 and P3 are very much in the air. Here's Mark's view behind Spencer. See those big curves through the chicanes. And we come into this sweeper here. That's one of the easier turns right there, but it's easy to go off track. Now we're heading into the 3 hairpin complex. This is a Penrite corner. This bottom one, from what I can see, does not have a name. And then we've got Katomi corner. No idea what these names mean, but something to Australians. He's gonna get on the inside there. Let's see if Mark can do anything with this. He is getting nose ahead, but he does make it. I was gonna say he was gonna be on the outside of this next corner. Oh, Spencer loses it. Maybe got bumped there. We'll have to take a look back and see at the end of the next race. We'll come back and take a look at that to see what actually happened. That's too bad. He was vying for P2 there. Couldn't tell if he just lost it coming around that corner, which is easy to do, or he got nicked in the back. So we'll see what happened. We've got a little less than 4 minutes of this race. We have now spread out a little bit between P2, P3, and P4. That kerfuffle in the final turn there that caused them to spread out some. So let's see back here. We've got
I am not going to pass you no matter what.
Tim is trying to he's going to go after Roman again.
I'm a lap down.
And he's got to hit pit lane. Maybe he they have a 10 incident level black flag here. If you get 10 incidents in a 20-minute race, then you're going to get a black flag. And if you get 13, your day is done. That helps promote the clean racing that we have. You're always going to have incidents in races. After all, these are racers. It's what they do. They push the limits. We also have all caliber of racer in our series. We have people like Kelly Greenhoe in the MX-5 that can put a 10-second gap on the rest of the field in his favorite car. Boy needs to buy one of those. And we have a lot that are just starting out. This may be one of their first league races ever. They're just getting a handle on this whole process. So everybody's welcome. You just have to be, when you're racing here, you just have to be conscious of, we do have various levels of experience. So rather than get behind someone and not know where they normally brake, you just have to be a little more cautious. If you're going to follow nose to tail, you better know where that person ahead of you normally brakes. They may not brake where you do. Especially in our Tuesday series, which is often has quite a few more newer racers in it. Newer. I won't say they all are. Some of these people race all 3 nights. In Thursday night, we have our Porsche Cup races, and Sunday night this season is GT3 racing. So you'll see many of these same people on one or both of those nights. So we're coming up on the last minute of racing here. Unless someone makes a mistake, I honestly don't see a change. Let's see here if... I don't know if Kelly will get the checkered flag this time around, or... Looks like it's going to be close. Let's see here what happens. Oh, we got one more lap. So unless one of these racers makes a mistake, it's going to be Kelly Greenhoe in P1, Mark Miller in P2, and Michael Bond in P3. But anything can happen. They are still pushing. The field has gotten pretty well spread out. Uh-oh, I see Jake missing a front bumper, so sure enough, we did have someone that didn't make it to the end. And I hear a racer bargaining for position. Seems he had a little incident with another racer on lap 1 and is asking for a position. And if so, he won't protest. That's a creative way of gaining a position. And there we go, Kelly Greenhoe in P1. Then we've got Mike Bond in P3, Mark Miller, P2, John Cooper, Thomas Wright here coming around to the finish line.
Way to get up to third, Bondo.
Kent Kruger, who's down a lap, coming across. So let's take a quick look here at our results. I've got a few cars coming around. Kelly Greenhoe, P1, P2, Mark Miller, P3, Michael Bond, John Cooper, Joseph Mayer, Roman Bykov, Thomas Wright, Spencer Baudouin, Mark Valente, Craig Thompson, Jake, Kent, and Tim. And our top 6 will be inverted for our next race, which is going to get started here in just a second. Thanks for hanging around, and just like that, through the magic of TV, we are now getting started with our second 20-minute race. We've inverted the top 6, so that puts Roman Bykov, Joseph Mayer, John Cooper, Michael Bond, Mark Miller, and Kelly Greenhoe in slots 1 through 6. Kelly won our last race, so he'll have 5 cars to make his way through to get back to P1. We put a 10-second gap on cars in the first race, so won't surprise me at all to see him do that. All right, so here we go, getting ready for race 1. Everybody's nicely in order, running pace speed, and they're off. Tearing into this first chicane. Let's see if we can make it cleanly through here, side by side. They're gonna do it. So we've got Roman Bykov breaking away a little bit. Joseph behind him, John Cooper, Mike Bond. This string of cars coming through here. Get our chopper cam here. And here we are heading into the hairpins. Good view of these 3 back-to-back hairpins. 1, 2, 3. And then they're on the long straight here. And it looks like got a battle here between John Cooper and Mike Bond. Heading into the final turn down the long straight. So their next series will be the chicanes. Let's see what happens here. And Kelly Greeno is going to make it 3 wide into the chicane. Can they do it? Breaks up into 2 wide, 3 wide coming out, and they do keep it clean through the chicane. Kelly tried, and he may actually lose a position here with that effort. He is now side by side with Mark Miller. Oh, Mike Bond. Uh-oh. Everybody hangs on to it. That's what I was saying. It's so easy to lose the rear end in these cars. It sneaks up on you on this track. And there goes John Cooper around. I seem to remember him possibly going around in race 1 on that corner. So Roman now has a half-second gap on Joseph Meyer right behind him.
Let's go get him, Mark.
And then we've got a nearly 4-second gap back to Kelly Greenhoe, who has gotten around the rest of these. So he's made up from 6th to 3rd already. And we're only on lap 3. And then we've got Mark Miller, Michael Bond, Spencer Baudouin, Craig Thompson, Tim Havelka, Kent Kruger. See if he can hang on to his engine this race. Mark, Jake back here, John Cooper, who had that spin, Thomas Wright is in P13. So here we go with Roman and Joe Mayer. And then back behind them, let's jump back here and take a look at this gaggle of cars. Mark Miller's viewpoint to Kelly. Big curbs. Kelly is using every inch of this track. You can see him gets a better exit than Mark through there. Brake hard. Mark's going to use more of the curb. Go wide here and hit those really tall curbs right there. And behind Mark, he's got Michael Bond pushing hard. Then we've got a battle going on for P7. That's Craig Thompson in front of, oh, Tim's going to make a heck of a pass right there. Hard on the brakes before that hairpin, and is able to make a pass on Craig. This is our closest battle on the track right now. So let's hang out with Kent and Craig Can't watch Tim make that pass. Let's see if he learned anything from it. Let's jump on board with him. Not close enough at this point to try anything into the chicane. I don't know that he would be brave enough to take that 3 wide like the others did earlier. He is getting closer. This is where Tim made his pass earlier. Let's see if Kent learned anything. If he's going to try any of that. He goes to the outside. He's going to try an over-under here. That didn't work. He is right on Craig's tail. Looks like he's going to try another over-under. He's taking it wide. Go to the inside. Hopefully get a good exit. And makes that pass there. Nicely done. There's only a few spots like that on this track to you really have to outbrake your opponent. That's where you're going to pass here. So there we go. Now let's jump up here to Spencer, who has Mike Bond hot on his backside. Using all of those curves, coming out wide, rattle your teeth over that set. Mike's thinking about trying the inside there. He's a few car lengths back. We'll just stick with this race for a little bit. This battle, this is our closest battle on the track right now. And I see Joseph is beginning to pressure P1 here. Roman Bykov. Roman trying to break the draft. Draft is strong in these cars. Watch out for those curves. Come out here and rattle your teeth over those. MX-5 takes a beating on this track. I don't know that I would drive this hard in my real life MX-5 around this particular track, because I do want to still be able to drive it home. Gets a little of that inside curb. Joe is giving it all he has. Looks like Roman was just a little better through that series of chicanes, gained some position, gained some time through there. Jump back here to Mike and Spencer. Does look like Mike Bond got around Spencer. Just run through the field here. We've got Roman in P1, Joseph Meyer in P2, Kelly in P3. He still has 9 minutes to try and get up to P1. Mark Miller, P4. Mike Bond in P5. Spencer behind him in P6. Tim Havelka in P7. Kent up 5 positions in P8. Craig Thompson, P9. John Cooper down 2 positions. He had that spin. Thomas Wright up 3. Then we've got Jake and Mark, who looks like they have ducked out of the race. So let's jump back up here. Got Roman getting a little wide coming through there. Let's take a look at the gaps here. So Kelly is currently 1.8, 1.9. Let's see if Kelly can make up some time on these two. 1.6, 1.5. He is definitely catching. Joe, who now has lost time. That gap was about half a second earlier. It's now 1.4. Kelly's down to 1.4. So we're about equal between 1, 2, and 3. But Kelly is making up time fast. Let's get to a little bit wider view here so we can see this happen. Now he's a second behind. He's definitely 1.1. Gets a better exit, down below a second. Kelly is really good on the exits. Yep, gained a lot through there too, so he may be, what he's doing is focusing on that exit, maybe slowing down a little bit more, not hard charging that corner so he can get the better exit. And if you can do both, hard charge the corner, perfect on the braking, and get a great exit, you're really gonna do well here. So, all right, let's watch Kelly and see if he can now get around Joseph. It's one thing to catch up, another thing to pass, but that's something Kelly's good at. He's definitely got the speed. He's 3/10 behind him now. Joe does a 2-wheel over that curb. These curbs are huge on some of these corners. Kelly is figuring out where he is going to make this pass. He's good on the exits, so he's definitely going to be able to catch up to Joe. He's now 2/10 back. Right on his tail. See here, he's going to jump to the inside. Joe leaves room. No sense in getting in a wreck here. Potentially lose P3. So while Joe didn't make it easy for him, he also didn't make it too hard. He realized that Kelly was quite a bit faster, and it's better to have a P3 than no position at all. So now let's see if Kelly can catch up to Roman for P1. He has less than 5 minutes to do so. Also jump back here to, what do we got going on back here? We have, Mike Bond gets a little loose through that corner. Let's see if Spencer can take advantage of that. So we've got Mike Bond Spencer Baudouin, Tim Havelka, and bringing up the rear there, quite a bit of, oh, Mike gets a little loose again, so Kent's about 5 seconds behind this group with 4 minutes to go. Jump back up to the front here. I don't want to miss out on this. We've got Kelly is now less than a second behind Roman Bykov. Need a split screen here. Here's Mike and Spencer battling it out for P5. Now they went side by side the previous corner. Spencer's getting right on his rear. Oh, Spencer got a little loose through that corner, so he loses some time. Let's see if Tim can do anything with that. So that gap has opened up a little bit. What do we got up here? We've got a 0.8 of a gap between P1 and P2 with less than 3 minutes. This is going to get intense. Jump back here to this race. We've got 0.3 between Mike Bond and Spencer. Then Tim Havelka, and Kent has made up a second. He's now 4 seconds back. With 2.5 minutes left. Jump back up to the front here. We've got Kelly, 0.8. You know Roman sees him in his mirror. Then we jump back here to this battle. We're just going to keep going back and forth here. I don't want to miss anything. So Spencer and Mike. Oh, Spencer dives in there. Mike, nice. Very nice, but he won't get quite as good as exit. Let's see if Mike tucks in behind. He is going to make a late. Spencer gives him room. Spencer gives him room. Nice battle. Mike Bond gets loose again going through that corner. That's the second or third time we've seen him lose that rear end. Late in this race, those tires are hurting right now. Spencer weaves through here. Is Mike going to make an attempt here? He's going to jump to the inside. They're keeping it clean. Keeping it clean. I'm looking up at P1, and Kelly is 0.6 behind Roman, so we're not quite ready to jump up to that. But we are in our last minute of racing. This battle is intense. Mike and Spencer side by side through corner after corner through the hairpin. Oh! Roman had, by the tone of his voice there, he must have had a little bit of off track there probably. Got a little loose going through that series of corner. Ouch. That hurt. He gave up the position. I think he was holding Kelly off. He was. So we're on our last lap. Let's jump back here to this little gaggle of cars. Got Spencer ahead of Mike Bond. Then Tim back here. And then Kent sitting 2 seconds back. So Kent is catching up to this group because they are racing so hard. They're slowing each other down. And here we go again with these side by side again. Oh, hang on to it, boys. Here, let's get a look here from Spencer's point of view now, right behind Roman. He's going to take a little bit different line, see if he can get a better exit than Mike through this corner, go side by side here. Whoa, almost. Very careful not to get into the back. Mike is really loose on exit. And Spencer was kind there to, that was your chance there, Spencer. That was probably one of your best chances. We'll try passing on the outside here. This is going to be tough. Oh, and that's how it's going to end here. We've got Kelly in P1, Roman in P2, Joseph Mayer in P3, Mark Miller, Mike Bond, Spencer with a great race.
Not such a bad track after all, I guess.
And Thomas Wright will bring up
I did my best
P10.
for a little while, and then you were gone.
And then we had, looks like Craig Tessiter didn't start. He didn't want to drive the Code Brown car. So we've got John Cooper, Jake, and Mark who decided to bow out early. Let's take a look at the results here. So Kelly again, Roman, Joseph, Mark Miller, and so on through the list. So now we're going to cover the incidents in this, in our two races here. And let's see what the boys did. All right, here, let's get going with our wreck recap.
Hey, if somebody wants to give me a position.
So, here we go with, this is in our first race of the night. Kelly Greenhoe, wow. Loses it through that section. It's a hairpin, so he slides it through the grass, keeps on the brakes, ends up back on track, and nobody touches him. Nice. See what happened here too. I remember this. Oh, John Cooper just loses the rear end. No touch, no harm, no foul. Thomas Wright got a little loose through there, and then when he hit that curb, that sent it the rest of the way around. Mark Valente. Yikes! Yikes! Whoa! Hello. That was close. Keeps on the brakes. That's the rule in our league. Stay on the brakes so that the people behind you can plan. And here's Jake's. Yowzers! Sight from that. So soon after that happened, Jake. Oh, he's heading for pit lane. He might have a meatball flag. And then we've got Mike Bond at the end of the race. So that was actually race 2. Yeah, that was the accidents in race 2. So now let's jump to race 1. Here's Roman right behind Joseph Mayer. Oh, just drives through Joseph. Oh, too bad. Yikes, Joseph and Roman. That was Joseph then bargaining to get that position back at the end of the race. I think if he wanted to protest, he would have something to protest. Let's take a look here at Mark Miller. He's in that blue car there. Taps the brakes, and Tim into his back end, but they still make it through. So that was a 4X. Here's Tim again. Getting spun, tapped by Roman. Tim was having a hard time getting through that corner, and Roman was not, so he gets tapped. But as we see here, Roman slows down and waits for Tim to pass. Thomas Wright is trying to take advantage of that, so Roman keeps waiting, and there you go. Gives that position back and actually loses a few more positions in the process. So, a true gentleman there. Here's Jake. Gets into the back. Oh, no. Ouch. That was that losing. Let's jump to that one again. So here they are in P3 and P4. P3, the Spencer ahead of him. Jake in P4. And just a little too close behind him. That can happen. And that's it, honestly, for our wreck recap. Wasn't really that bad. We had some spinners all on their own, but for the most part, I think that was pretty good. Good hard racing. Good fun racing to see. So, all right. Where are we next week here? Let's see if I can open up my browser, go to Tuesday races, take a look at our schedule, and next week we are at Navarra Speed Circuit. That's a new track in iRacing and a free track. So just like this week's was, but I think a lot of people didn't realize it, Winton was also a free track. Navarra is a free track. So let's get those numbers back up to 26 again like we had in our first two races. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good week, everybody.